Hey YouTube fans, the video today is going to talk about some of the tremendous growth we've gotten with our new plantings in the garden. If you've been following my channel, this Louise Estes is one of two maiden Louise Esteses that we've been tracking for about 6 weeks now. It's been in the garden for about a week to 10 days. You can see the older leaves on it looking very lush, but notice all this top growth. And again, I've been kind of religiously coming by here. Anytime I see a bud, I pinch it off. Anytime I see a bud, I pinch it off. And you might say that's hard to wait for blooms, and it is, but I have a lot of established rose bushes in the garden, so I've got plenty of blooms to work with. By doing this, this bush is really taken off, and all that energy is going to developing the bush itself. Here's Veteran's Honor over here on Fortuniana. That's looking pretty good. Unfortunately, it looks like this one may have a little mosaic on it. We'll talk about that in a later video. This is Let Freedom Ring. Again, you can see that new growth on top. I'm gonna walk over to one of the other new beds. Again, these have been planted in the last week or so. This is Fragrant Cloud, and again, any of that purple growth you see on top, that is all new growth. So that's looking really, really good. You can't help but take your eye off of this one in terms of just growth. This is Pope John Paul. This is looking good. Again, this is one of the weeks ones that was not looking good. The top growth looks great. I'm waiting for stuff to come from the bottom. Hopefully it'll catch up with the Palatine roses. Speaking of Palatine, again, that's Pope John Paul. I'll slowly go over to this. This is Dolly Parton, a huge bush from Palatine. Not only established mature leaves on it, but look at all that purple. A lot of new growth since I planted these just over a week ago. So these are looking really good. Some of the other bushes in the garden, this is Mr. Lincoln. Again, been here about 1.5 years, 2 years. Tremendous top growth. But look at all the new growth down below. You can see what we call basal breaks down below, anywhere down near the bud union itself. So this is looking good, and so is Yolande de Aragon. So overall, the garden looking pretty good, especially given all the hot weather we've had here in eastern North Carolina. The point of this video was to talk about, remember that alfalfa tea I used? And then I did use some fish emulsion itself, but a lot of new growth. This is Gemini, one of my more mature bushes. You can see that new growth from down below. So you're seeing a common theme, even on the mature bushes.